What if every store on Earth was open 24/7, 365 days a year, and you could buy a wedding dress at 3 a.m. on Christmas morning or get fresh sushi at any grocery store at 4:30 a.m.? Society would transform into the most convenient and chaotic shopping paradise ever created. Imagine walking down any street at any hour and seeing every shop window glowing with warm light, every door unlocked and welcoming. It's 2:47 a.m. on a Tuesday, and you suddenly need a birthday gift, a new outfit for tomorrow's meeting, and ingredients for homemade pizza. No problem. Just stroll down to the mall where every store is buzzing with activity like it's the middle of a Saturday afternoon. This isn't just about convenience. It's about fundamentally reimagining how human society operates when the concept of clothes simply doesn't exist. But what would really happen if every retail business on the planet operated around the clock, never taking a break, never turning off the lights, and never putting up those dreaded "sorry, we're closed" signs? The results would create the most customer-friendly world in history, but also trigger the most unexpected transformation of human behavior and economics we've ever seen. Let's start with how this would completely revolutionize human daily routines, and it's absolutely fascinating. With every store open 24/7, we'd essentially create two parallel societies: the traditional day shift world and a thriving night shift economy that's just as vibrant and active. Night owls would finally have their perfect world. Imagine being able to go grocery shopping at 2 a.m. when stores are completely empty, getting personalized attention from staff, and never having to deal with crowds or long lines. People with unconventional schedules, night shift workers, and parents with newborns would suddenly have access to the same shopping convenience as everyone else. But here's where it gets really interesting. We'd see the emergence of time-based shopping cultures. Some people would become exclusively nighttime shoppers, creating a whole subculture of midnight mall wanderers and 3 a.m. grocery enthusiasts. Stores would develop completely different atmospheres depending on the time, bright and energetic during the day, cozy and intimate at night. O impacto econômico seria incrível. Retail businesses would see massive revenue increases as they capture all the impulse purchases that currently get delayed until tomorrow. That late-night craving for ice cream, instant sale, sudden need for new headphones at midnight. Donne deal. The phrase, "I'll buy it tomorrow," would disappear from human vocabulary. Employment would explode as stores need to triple their staff to cover 24-hour operations. This would create millions of new jobs and allow for incredibly flexible work schedules. People could choose to work during their optimal energy hours, leading to happier, more productive employees and better customer service. But the most fascinating development would be chronotype shopping. Stores would discover that different personality types prefer shopping at different hours, leading to specialized experiences. Early morning shops might focus on efficiency and quick service, while late-night stores could offer relaxed, exploratory shopping experiences. Now let's explore how never-closing stores would completely transform cities and transportation, and it would blow your mind. Urban planning would be revolutionized as the traditional concept of business hours disappears and city activity spreads evenly across all 24 hours. Rush hour would become extinct. When people can shop, run errands, and handle appointments at any time, there's no need for everyone to cram their activities into the same narrow time windows. Traffic would flow smoothly throughout the day as human activity distributes evenly across all hours. Public transportation would transform from a rush hour necessity into a constant, reliable service. Cities would need to run buses, trains, and subways 24/7 to serve the always active retail economy, creating the most convenient urban transportation systems in history. But here's a really cool part. Cities would become breathing organisms with natural rhythms. Different neighborhoods would develop their own peak hours based on the types of businesses they host. Entertainment districts might be busiest from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m., while business districts peak from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., creating a beautiful urban symphony of activity that never stops. Street lighting and urban safety would improve dramatically. With constant foot traffic and open businesses providing natural surveillance, cities would become much safer at all hours. The concept of dangerous late-night areas would disappear when every street has active businesses and people moving around. The most incredible innovation would be temporal zoning. Cities would organize not just by geography, but by time. Certain areas might specialize in daytime shopping, others in nighttime entertainment, and some in 24-hour services, creating the most efficient urban ecosystems ever designed. Architecture would evolve to accommodate constant activity. Buildings would need better soundproofing, lighting systems that adjust to different moods throughout the day, and layouts designed for both high-energy and relaxed shopping experiences. Here's where the scenario gets truly transformative for human culture and psychology. The elimination of store closing times would fundamentally alter how we think about time, leisure, and the rhythm of daily life in ways that would reshape human society. The concept of weekends would completely change. Instead of cramming all shopping and errands into Saturday and Sunday, people would spread these activities throughout the week based on their personal preferences and energy levels. This would lead to more balanced, less stressful lifestyles as people can handle tasks when they're most motivated, rather than when they're supposed to. Seasonal shopping would become more organic and natural. Instead of massive Black Friday crowds and holiday shopping chaos, sales and special events would be distributed throughout the year. People could take advantage of deals when it's convenient for them, leading to more thoughtful purchasing decisions and less impulse buying driven by artificial scarcity. But the most fascinating cultural shift would be the emergence of personal prime time. Individuals would discover their optimal hours for different activities. Some people might realize they're most creative shoppers at 11 p.m., while others do their best grocery shopping at 6 a.m. Society would become more individualized and personally optimized. Family dynamics would transform, as parents could shop without kids during school hours. Teenagers could have independence to shop during their preferred evening hours. And families could enjoy leisure time together without the pressure of fitting errands into busy weekends. The most incredible psychological impact would be the reduction of time anxiety. The constant worry about whether stores will be open, whether you'll have time to complete tasks, and the stress of cramming everything into limited hours would disappear. Mental health would improve as people feel more in control of their time and daily routines. International business would be revolutionized as time zone differences become irrelevant for retail. You could order something from a store in Tokyo at any hour and speak directly with staff, creating a truly global, always accessible marketplace. But here's the twist that changes everything. After about 2 years of 24/7 retail operations, society would make an incredible discovery about human nature and the psychology of choice. That would revolutionize how we think about convenience and happiness. Research would reveal that unlimited access to shopping doesn't actually make people happier. It makes them more thoughtful and intentional consumers. When you can buy anything at any time, the urgency and impulse factors disappear, leading to more careful consideration of purchases. The most amazing development would be that people start self-organizing into natural shopping rhythms that are more efficient and satisfying than the old system. Society would discover that humans naturally prefer certain times for different types of shopping, and when given complete freedom, they create better patterns than any artificially imposed schedule. But the ultimate revelation would be even more profound. 24/7 stores would accidentally solve many social problems. Night shift workers would no longer feel isolated from society. Insomniacs would have productive outlets for restless energy, and people with anxiety about crowded spaces could shop during peaceful hours. The never-closing store experiment would prove that when you remove artificial constraints and trust people to manage their own time, society organizes itself more harmoniously and efficiently than any top-down system could achieve. So the next time you are frustrated by a store's closing time or wish you could shop at your own pace, remember this. Maybe the goal isn't just convenience, but creating a world where time serves people instead of people serving time. Sometimes the most revolutionary idea isn't adding more rules or structure, but simply removing the barriers that prevent people from living according to their natural rhythms and preferences. If the idea of never closing stores fascinated you, wait until you discover what would happen if money didn't exist and everything was free. Think 24/7 shopping was convenient. Imagine a world where you could take anything you wanted without paying, and somehow society still functions perfectly. Click the video appearing now to explore how a post-money economy could create the ultimate abundant society. Subscribe and hit that notification bell, because we're exploring the economic possibilities that could transform how humans think about value, ownership, and cooperation. See you in the next mind-bending social experiment.